Hey, what's up everybody? Lionheart here, and I'm sure I clickbaited this video title, so you guys already know what we're about to go do. We're gonna go check out this super secret submarine base that's over here at Port Reynolds. Now, I just want to go ahead and make it absolutely clear that this place was discovered legitimately by me and my friends. Using this dolphin diving technique that you should be doing so that you can get further with your dive pod, you're able to see a big hole in the cliffside over here. Right there, you see it? And if you aim properly, you can just barely make it inside. All you have to do is get right in front of it, get full speed while you're underwater, head up at a 45-degree angle right in front of this rock face, and you should make it. Just barely did. Be very careful not to go too far to the left. As you can see, I almost hit that rock face there. That did cause me a couple of failures in the past. It's actually pretty easy to get in here once you get that trajectory down. It only took me about half a dozen tries. Now, you can get inside this submarine. There will be loot in there. Not too much, and it's pretty useless because you can't leave once you're inside. Trust me, I checked every single angle once you're in here. But I am just going to grab all this loot so I can fight off some sharks in a little bit. Yes, sharks will spawn in here, and until you run out of ammo, you should be able to survive pretty easily. But that's all beside the point. The point is, what's this submarine doing here? Does anybody know? Clearly the developers do. Unfortunately, I don't. Sorry. I do talk to the developers from time to time, but it's usually to report bugs or glitches, or sometimes we just play matches together and it's random conversation, nothing useful. But things like this, I'm glad that I don't know what they're for because I enjoy speculation and coming up with theories just as much as everybody else does. Obviously, this is just an unfinished area. There are definitely plans for this. You can tell there is loot. The submarine itself looks very finished. Obviously, this whole base is kind of bland. There's no shelves in here. I've checked out all of these doors. None of them open. You can stick your head up above the water, but you're not going to be able to see much of anything. Now, if this area does get finished, I think that would be absolutely great. It's very unique. It looks great. It would definitely make Port Reynolds a viable drop spot as of right now. One person could go there if they want to have a nice slow game where they get full loot before they ever have to encounter anybody. But you're not going to get any action up here. You're not going to be able to fill up a whole squad. Now, there is a bit more loot on the sub, so let's go back to that. This little break in the submarine right here should look sort of familiar to you if you visited any of the other submarines on the map. I know there's about 2 or 3. I actually didn't count, but they are all halfway stuck in the ground, so you can't get inside them. You can't travel through them like you can this one. I assume that they just used the exact same models and textures. They just copied it over and stuck it in the floor. But these doors do work, and I absolutely love them, by the way. They're nice and quiet, and I love these spinning door handles. They're great. There's not much else in here. So we're going to go ahead and head outside. I'll have to do it in a separate game to show you. Now, the place that I jumped my dive pod in, that is still currently the only way inside, but it looks like this is actually supposed to be the real entrance, and that place just somehow ended up being an oversight or something like that. This place is covered by rock face. There's absolutely no way to get in or out through this wall, but this does appear to be where the entrance would be if this place does end up being finished. Down here through these pipes, there's a couple of areas to the left and right. There's no actual tricks to get in here. You just follow these pipes. You can easily see them on the map. They're kind of useful if you do land at Port Reynolds for whatever reason and someone beats you to the loot and you need a nice safe place to come, I suppose. There is a decent amount of loot, so it does serve that purpose. Other than that, there's nothing special in these areas. Trust me, we checked everything out that we could, and it just seems like it's just an extra place to loot that nobody's really gone to yet. Now, there are a couple of other areas on this map that I'm going to show you here in just a second. I guarantee you they're not as amazing or as mysterious as the submarine base. There's no secrets to getting into them. You can just go straight to them. If you've played the map a few times, you'll notice that the bunkers, the silos, the buildings, they all look exactly the same for the most part, except for maybe an extra room here or there. But there are some very unique little areas, and those are the ones that I want to show you next. Right here behind BD's Bay, make sure you're on the lower level, not the upper level. There's 2 different entrances in this little face of the cliff here. You can take your pod in a little ways, but if you can manage to make your pod through this entire thing, you are amazing, and I would love to see that. As I said, there's 2 little entrances here, depending on which one you come in. I definitely went in through the wrong one because I have to go all the way around. But if you came in through the one that I just passed, you can go straight forward, and at the end of the tunnel here, you should be able to go straight up. As you can see, this end here is blocked off by rocks. There's no other way to go. But right above me somewhere, where is it? It's definitely behind me, if I remember correctly. It's right in front of the entrance. Yeah, it's right there. I see it. I can see the light. You go straight up, you'll see all these nice little work lights. Nothing special to them. And as soon as you get up here, all you are is at the top of Beatty's Bay. There's a lot of airplanes and things like that around here. They do have loot in them, but there's nothing special as far as I was able to tell. The tunnels just kind of look cool. Now, this is an unmarked area, or an unnamed area rather. I've been here once or twice at the end of a game, but I've never actually noticed this area down here, and I'm sure it went unnoticed by the other players as well. It's definitely unique. I haven't seen any other place that looked quite like it. There's a decent amount of loot in here. If you want to land solo, somewhere where absolutely no one's going to bother you, you can get geared up and then head into a firefight, this is probably a good place to go. I would definitely recommend it. You can go to the very far left and the very far right here, just along these pipes. You can see that there's holes in the gates, and pretty much it's just a short tunnel with rocks at the end, but there's a little bit of loot. Now, these rocks do look a little bit different than the other rocks that were blocking off the bay doors over at the submarine, just because they're falling forward. So I don't think that there's anything behind them. Obviously, I have absolutely no way of knowing for certain, but I think that this is all that there is to this area. There's not going to be anything extra. Again, there could be something in the works. I have absolutely no idea. But we'll just show you this side here, and then we'll go right over to the next place. I found this during the beta with a couple of people that I was playing with at the time. It's just a nice little skull. You can go right into the eyes. There's some loot in here. Not much at all, but if you ever hot drop at Ancient Temple, which is where this place is located, by the way, you will be able to come in here. Hopefully no one will follow you. You'll get suited up, and you can get right back in the fight. Now, again, this place is covered off by rocks on all the sides. This place, I do kind of feel like there's something behind there, and hopefully in the future, we'll be able to come here and there will be some nice tunnels, get a couple of bits of extra loot or something like that. Because I do love this whole temple feel of the game in certain areas, and I'd really like to see something done with that. Now, I was able to discover 2 additional areas. I did make recordings of them, but I sent those to the developers because they were exploitable areas that definitely need to get fixed before anybody else finds it out and shows it to everybody else. Maybe sometime in the future, after I know for a fact that you can't do it anymore, I'll show you guys the videos. But until then, you're going to have to deal with just that submarine base that I absolutely cannot wait to see in game. Until then, if you guys have any suggestions for other areas that you want me to include into a video, or even if you have some speculation as to what the submarine base is for, please include it down in the comments below. Don't forget, you can also like the video and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in game.